guys, you're probably wondering, how about the ear? We will learn about the ear in today's video. Sounds kind of weird, right? Because everybody has two ears. Yep, I have two ears right here. And it will depend on the size as you grow older. And we need the ear. It's very important to have the ear because, it will help us listen from far away. And another benefit is that the ear will help us keep us balanced. Imagine if you don't have an ear. So you will lose your balance a little bit. And you've lost two of your ears, then you will have no balance at all. So the ears help us a lot in balance. Let's watch today's video. In today's video, we will learn some body parts, we will learn some parts inside our ear. Also, some verbs related to hearing. And there are some nouns like some tools, we will need to hear. Alright, so let's get started. So we have the ear right here. And this is called, what you see here is called the outer ear. And next, inside this, there are many parts that I think you should know. This is called the lobe. Yeah, this one right here is called the lobe. And for the upper part, it's called the cartilage, this part. And if you want to know more about these body parts, stick around because in the end of the video, we will know all of them. For now, we will look for some verbs related to hearing. So the first word is hear. It's the irregular verb. Hear, you hear something. And the past tense, it is heard. You just need to have a D right at the end of here. So you have to identify hear and listen. They're totally different. So I will tell you the difference between hear and listen. Alright, for now we will learn the word hear. And for the future tense, it is will hear. Just put the will in front of here. So for the past tense, I have some example right here. I heard a dog barking last night. You heard something barking last night. So you hear something. Hear. And next for the present tense, here, I hear the traffic every morning. You hear the traffic, the noise of the traffic every morning. Next, we have the future tense, which will have the example right here. Will hear. I will hear what she has to say tonight. I will hear what she has to say tonight. She has to say something, apologize to me maybe. And make sure you make your own example sentence for the three tenses that we're practicing. Present tense, past tense, and future tense. Next we have listen, and it's also the irregular verb. The meaning is to give one's attention to a sound. For example, you always say, I listen to English. You pay attention to the sound on the radio maybe. So you say, I listen to English. You never say, I hear English. That's so weird. Nobody ever said that. You say, I listen to English. And for the word hear, you should say that, yeah, you hear something. I kind of hear a noise from outside. I listen to something. You listen. You pay attention. But when you hear, you do not have the same attention as listen. Yeah, makes sense, right? And now let's see what they have to say about listen. So again, you have to pay attention to a sound. For the past tense, we have listened, just plus the ed. Yeah, so let's see right here. The past tense is listen. You plus ed because this is the irregular verb. I listened to the radio this morning. Like I said, I listened to English. I listened to radio. I listened to, and listen always plus to. And for the present tense, I listen to the bird singing every day. Yeah, bird singing. I like to listen to the bird singings. And for the future tense, plus the will in front of listen. I will listen to the podcast tonight. The podcast. I like listening to podcasts. And now we have the word overhear. I heard I overhear something, right? Overhear, it's to hear something or someone without meaning to and without the knowledge of the speaker. So for example, you don't know what they're saying, but you overhear, for example, they say, I hate him. And you overhear that sentence. You don't know who the person she is talking to. Yeah, that's overhear. You accidentally overhear someone secretly talking to the other person. So overhear. And the past tense, because the here just plus the D, it's overheard for the past tense. And for the future tense, it's will overhear, which doesn't make sense for the future tense. Will overhear, that's quite weird. So here's the future tense. Just put the will in front of overhear. So we have an example. I overheard my mother speaking on the phone earlier. Yeah, I overheard she's talking to someone, but I don't know what she's talking about. Don't have the knowledge of what she's mentioning. And for the present tense over here, I overhear my neighbors talking every day. Yeah, neighbors talking really loud, so you overhear them every day, even me too. And for the future tense, will overhear, which is a bit weird to make a sentence. You will overhear someone? That's quite weird. Your intention is to overhear someone. Alright, so let's look at our example for will overhear. I will overhear them talking if I go into that room. Yeah, that makes sense. If I go to that room, I will overhear them talking. So make sure you make your own examples. Don't depend on this one. When you learn a new word, it's best for you to make your own examples. So that you can see if you understand the word. If your example makes sense, then that means you understand the word. But if your example doesn't make sense, then you have to check again. So next I have the word eavesdrop. Eavesdrop in the past tense. Let's see the definition. To secretly listen to a conversation. You secretly listen, that's your intention. Your intention is to secretly listen to someone. And eavesdropped just need to double the P and plus ED. So I eavesdropped on their conversation. Yeah, I secretly listened to their conversation yesterday. And for the word eavesdrop in present tense, I eavesdrop on their phone calls all the time. You know, like when they're talking, I eavesdrop. I follow them and I eavesdrop them. And for the future tense, just put the will in front of eavesdrop. The agent will eavesdrop on the president's phone call later tonight. That sounds weird. The president will be really angry. And let's see what we have next for our verb. Oh, we have the adjective right here, deaf. The adjective deaf is lacking the power of hearing or having impaired hearing. You cannot hear. Like if you are just low deaf, you can use a machine to help you hear. But if you are deaf, a machine cannot help you. Then yes, you won't need a machine. So yeah, slightly deaf. If you're slightly deaf, you can still hear a little bit, but it's like not too clear, and you'll need a machine to help you. And the term is a term, hard of hearing, but nobody ever uses hard of hearing. They always say deaf. So have a noun, hearing aid. Yeah, this is the machine I'm talking about. And here is sign language. When you're deaf or you cannot hear, then you will use sign language. You know the news? The news, if you watch the news, there will be a small person in the corner of the TV, and they will do sign language to help the person who is deaf cannot hear. They can understand what the reporter is talking about. So hearing aid is a noun, and sign language. You must learn sign language. It's really important when you have hearing aid. A noun, earring, also related to the ear. You often wear an earring to decorate your ear more beautiful. So earring. I think you have watched my jewelry in English, right? Check that video, it's so interesting. There are many kinds of jewelry. Next, we have some kind of equipment to help us with listening. So the earrings, headphones, which is like the really big one that cover your ears. Cover all of your ears. But the earphone is just put a little bit inside your ear. It does not cover your whole ear. Or you can say earphones means in-ear headphones. Next, we have earbuds. Earbuds is just like a small one. Here are earbuds. Yeah, earbuds. Apple earbuds, lots of things. Samsung earbuds. Next, we have some Bluetooth, which all of this have to connect to Bluetooth in order to use. Now, let's look at some verbs, like some words related. Okay, I will show you this board. Those are all the words, like those are like, you can learn them. Those are the words that is medicational. And now I will check it. Helix, fossa, helix, antihelix, concha, antitragus, lobule. Like in the beginning of the video I said this is lobe, right? But in medication they will say lobule. And here is fossa, antihelix. This part right here, you always use something to like wipe your ear. It is called external auditory canal. This one right here is tragus, and intertragus is incisura intertracheac. These words are quite medicational, and now I will so here, instead of saying external auditory canal, which is pretty long, you can say ear canal. Yeah, you can change shorter. This word is just used in the hospital. And if you're learning like just normal, you could use ear canal. Next, we have 3 parts. Which are the 3 parts? Malleus, incus, and stapes. Those are the important 3 parts inside your ear. Also, what do we have here? Oh, this one is the vestibular nerve, which helps you to keep balance. Vestibular nerve. And next, I have the condylar nerve, also helps you to keep balance. And right here, I have the tube. This is a very important tube right here. And this one is called a round window. Those are just the part that you need to know about your ear. That's all. And right here, it's called the tympanic cavity, this part right here. And here's the tympanic membrane, or also known as the eardrum, because of the eardrum or the tympanic membrane. And the ear is divided into 3 sections. The first section, what you can use the thing to wipe your ear, is called the outer ear. And the second section is the middle ear, and the third one is the inner ear, which you mustn't use something to dig into it. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye!